musicians for once.
And we're live. What's going on? Welcome to the Ryan Stick Show. I got Radium Moon here. You were telling me a funny story about how right before we went on the air, how you got your name. And Radium Moon, that is something else. But it actually works with your style and about your style. Let's talk about your music here. How do you all come together and make this moon more radium?
Wow. I don't know. I guess we all just come from such like different backgrounds of music. Like me, for example, is mainly like 90s alt rock, grunge. Sandrine comes from a punk background, and Raph listens
Nobody knows.
only to Toto.
That's not true though, but it's kind of true. But yeah,
As someone who is old, what is turbo?
No, Toto.
Oh, Toto! Amazing.
It's gonna take a life to drive me away from you.
This is why he doesn't sing.
Were you happy when Weezer finally covered that song after years and years and years of hashtags and everyone bothering them too?
I don't know.
Okay, there you go. All right. So now we know your styles, but how do you come together and become this trinity of awesomeness that I see before me?
How did we come together? I don't know. I guess that just goes back to like our origin. I guess I had written these songs for acoustic guitar. I was just gonna do a little indie project, solo project, and then brought a friend of mine in on drums. This is before rap, and things just started progressing. We got a bit heavier.
And playing heavy is so much fun.
Of course. And when we started playing heavier music, I was like, we need a bass player. Like, how do we find a bass player? Bass players are the hardest people to find. I don't know if you've ever tried to find a bass player, but no one fucking plays bass. So Sandrine was like, well, I'll play the bass. And I was like, but you don't play bass. And she's like, I'll learn.
That's funny you said about not knowing like any bass players. I play bass. I've been playing bass for 20 years, and I started because I was learning how to play drums, and we wanted our friend to learn how to play bass who didn't want to buy a bass. So I'm like, dude, tell you what, I'll get a bass so one's around, and then we could start a band. And then eventually I'm like, oh, I should learn how to play this thing. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. Playing drums is a pain in the ass, and my parents hate me because we live in an apartment. I'm gonna play bass from now on. So that's how a lot of people come together and start playing bass. They do it to fill a void sometimes. So yeah awesome.
That's how it happened for me. But I mean, honestly, I like bass a lot more than guitar. It's so much less pressure. I really like that.
I guess with the style too. So I've you've always been an amazing singer. When I heard the songs that you sent me, I was like, wow, that backup singer is really fucking good shit in the choruses. Like, this band's great, but damn, that's like a whole other level when it comes. That's why I like about the band actually, is because the singing is so great on both ends, and when it comes together in the choruses, it really gives this extra level to it. Was that something you knew you were going to do going in, or where did you say, okay, well, let's get her to sing as well? She's playing bass, but you started a band from writing songs. So I'm just wondering, how did that come about?
Well, I think really all the songs on the EP were based off of songs that I had written for this acoustic solo project. So it was written for myself to be the singer. And then when Sandrine came in and started playing bass, she just took on the backups. A lot of our newer stuff that's going to be coming out in the future will be more centered around Sandrine on main vocals. And I mean, we're going to pass it back and forth. We have some songs where I'm the lead, some songs where she's the lead, some songs where we're back and forth. It's a good mix.
Okay. Is it just asking because you just learning how to play bass now? It took me a little bit of time to have my hands play the bass and have my mouth sing the songs and get used to coordinating that just considering you're learning bass for this project, did it take you a while to get used to doing both?
Well, I mean, I've been playing guitar for a very long time before that.
Never mind. There you go.
I had
And
also like a project where I was already singing and playing, so I was used to that coordination already. But
Awesome.
it's a challenge for some songs for sure. Some
Awesome.
songs require a little more. I feel like the less you think about it, the better it goes. So you just have to know the song enough that you can just stop thinking about it, and then everything flows together. Anyway, that's how I live it. So I don't know. It's different for everyone, I guess.
And how does one start playing drums for this project? Did they find you on Craigslist? Were you a friend previously? Were you on the side of the highway with your thumb out, looking a little sad, and the Incredible Hulk music was playing? How do you join this band?
I was one of those guys playing on trash cans, and these guys look at me and it's like, "Hey, you want to join?" No, it's not. It's pretty much that.
I don't even remember where I found you.
It was
no,
online.
it was on. You guys had an ad
Tinder.
on.
It was Grinder. Yeah.
No, you actually had an ad on
Facebook.
I think it was no.
Craigslist.
It was probably Craigslist. I was just searching because I wanted to join a band. I just wanted to play because I hadn't played in a long time, and I really missed it. So then, I responded to your ad, and I came and auditioned. And
Oh yeah, we knew right away.
we
went through some bad auditions before Raph, and when he came in, we just knew. We were like, he's the guy. I think we asked him on the spot that day.
Yeah.
you actually did, because I was like sitting there on the drums, and I'm like, okay, so what are we playing? He's like, just follow us, and he started playing their songs. I don't know the songs. Okay, let's do it.
And by song's end, you realize your ankle has been handcuffed to the test kit, and you're like, oh, I guess I got the job. Cool. All right. Well, let's have some fun. We've all been in bands. We've all done bad auditions. We've all seen bad auditions. Tell me about what makes a bad before he comes in and completes the circle. Tell me about some bad auditions without naming names, of course. If you want me to tell a story to soften the blow so I look like the jerk, I can do that.
There was one guy in particular who he was playing some weird stuff. I don't even know what style you would call this. It was basically like techno style drumming,
but over our stuff.
But over rock music. And I was just
it was
really?
a great drummer, but it made no sense with the project. That's all. But the guy could drum for sure.
Oh yeah, he was amazing, but it was just so strange, the stuff that he was putting behind our music.
Yeah.
That awkward moment at the like I said, when we auditioned Raph, it was like we knew right away. We were like, yeah, you're the guy. Do you want to be in the band? But with that other guy before him, it was that awkward moment at the end of the audition where it's like, okay, so we'll let you know. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, and before that happens, he already has made a copy of your key, and he's just like, "Oh, this is awkward." He's like, "I already put my name on the lease." Yeah. Nah, man, I've had those auditions where I was hungover, and whoever was auditioning, poor bastards. But it's fun. It's funny. One guy came in and he was auditioning to be a drummer. This was a long time ago, but he had a broken foot and still insisted on coming in anyhow. And he hadn't played drums in a year and a half and still insisted on coming and playing. I'm like, these are things that you should really mention to people before they rent a practice studio in order for somebody to come and try out. Very nice guy though, but sometimes it just doesn't work, right? Yeah. So I'm always interested when I'm talking to people, especially musicians. How does one become a musician? Like, what was the moment you said to yourself, I want to do this, and everybody has that. So music wise, let's go from right to left or left to right. I can't really tell because we have mirror images. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you start with you.
There's no problem. All right. I don't know. I guess it's actually a funny story because my mother when
Mother.
my mother, because my sisters, both of them went to this music school. Because I'm from Brazil, so like there's this really really big like music school, whatever, it's like an academy, like it's a big thing there. And my mother sent both of them to this school, right? And they learned the piano, they learned all the classical stuff, but they never followed through. So like they never actually became musicians anymore. So then when I was born, my mother was like, if this guy wants to be a musician, he's gonna do it on his own. I don't care. And then I don't know. I grew up listening to a lot of different music because back at my house, like we were always listening to a bunch of different records and different types of music. And I was always kind of banging on stuff. So I guess I don't know. It just sort of came naturally to me. I decided to start playing when I was 16, and I got my first really shitty drum kit. But yeah, it just from there, I just started practicing and playing with different people, playing different bands and stuff. But oh yeah, sorry, I'm a mumbler. But yeah, I don't know. I just always loved music, and I even tried to run away from it a few times, but it always comes back and chases me. So
I try to get out there, pull me back in. I like referencing Al Pacino movies I haven't actually seen. All right, next. How do you get into music?
I don't know. I mean, I started singing. My first memory of like actually singing and being like, oh, I'm pretty decent at this. I think I was like 6 years old singing the Spice Girls or something.
Nice.
Like, little girl singing in her bedroom. But yeah, I took some singing lessons and I hated it. I was so shy. It was really making me feel nervous. But I don't know. Then in high school, I got the opportunity to join the band in high school.
Nice.
And yeah, that was really cool. And we played the Jazz Fest.
Really?
And that was really, really cool. It was a super rainy day and it stopped raining and bright sunlight came out just for the hour that we played.
Nice.
And yeah, then I knew that after being on that stage, I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. It never happened again, maybe one day. But yeah, I don't know. I wanted to learn more and I was either not good in school at the time where, the audition for the CEGEPs and stuff like that happened, so I never got to like study like that, but it's the same thing. It always comes back to you. I never stopped. I can't. It's like emotionally, I can't stop playing music.
Okay.
It's always there.
And next.
So I remember the exact moment when I knew I wanted to play music. Actually, I'm going to have to go a little bit more back here. When I was about 8 years old, maybe 9, my next door neighbor gave me 2 cassettes. Yeah, I'm older than I look. Cassettes. One of them was the Pennywise self-titled.
Nice.
The other one was Weird Al Yankovic. And I remember putting
man, awesome.
I remember putting the Pennywise cassette into my mom's Walkman with those shitty little headphones that they had back in the 90s. Like, yes, this is super cool. And then I put in the Weird Al Yankovic one, and I was like, oh, this is not as cool. I guess I was young, I didn't quite understand the music. So fast forward a few years, I guess, or a year, to me in grade 3 on the school bus. I had my Walkman in hand with those same 2 cassettes, and a buddy of mine had his Walkman with his little case with all of his cassettes in it. And he was like, "Oh wow, you have a Weird Al cassette. Like, can I borrow it?" And I was like, "Oh well, like you know what? I don't really like it that much. Do you want to trade?" And so I started looking through his little cassette deck, and I pulled one out. It was just all black and had a red Flying V guitar on it. I might be mixing up the color, but it had a Flying V guitar on it. You know, in big letters, just said Triumph. And I was like, all right, I'll trade you my Weird Al cassette for this Triumph one. And I popped it in,
Blasphemy.
heard the song Rocky Mountain Way, and immediately was just like, oh my God, I want to play guitar. Like, I need to be a rock star.
That's amazing. Wait, well, before we move on though, do either of you also have that moment where you heard that one particular song or the one particular moment and said, "Oh my God, I want to be a rock star"?
I don't know. I don't think so.
To be honest, I grew up in. There was a dance studio in my basement. My mom was a dance teacher. I listened to so many kinds of music, but rock music.
No, it doesn't have to be rock, just any type of music that made you say, "Oh my God, I want to use this to get attention." Like,
For me, the first, I guess it was No Effects. I listened to it on loop and on loop and on loop and on loop.
which album?
Pump of the Bottom.
Really? Oh, cool. I am so much older than you. Okay, cool.
Not that much, just
A little bit.
years.
I think for me,
I was late, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, I remember listening to Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Like,
Oh yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that goes.
Hey, bada, bada, hey, bada. I was like, man, I want to play the drum. I was like playing the drum.
Oh my God, Chad Smith's kit and his drum sound, especially in that album, is nuts. Wow. Okay, so now we established, we found out a little bit about your musical souls, but let's go into, the here and now. You have a song coming out, and I love the imagery. Now, when I think of Jesus, I usually, I too think of him with superpowers and lightning and lasers coming out of his eyes. Let's talk a little bit about the inspiration behind this song.
So we're a Christian rock band?
No, we're not. Do not listen to her.
I was wondering if you were actually when you sent me over and I see the title. I'm just like, Thursday's gonna be funny. Okay.
No, the song itself and the title is like, how do I put it? It's a metaphor, really. I mean, the song is not about Jesus at all in any way. It's more about not taking people at face value. Don't always believe what you're being told or what you see.
Yeah. Like this.
We just thought it was funny, and a lot of the wording in it is like kind of double entendres that like it would sound like the song is about Jesus. There's a lot of Bible references in the lyrics. I guess you guys will all find out once the song is released.
Yeah. Well, when does this song come out, pray tell?
November 23rd.
I like my pun there. It wasn't even intentional. Jeez. Pray tell. All right. November what?
November 23rd.
November. That's great. And where could people catch that song on?
Everywhere. We're gonna be on Spotify, Amazon, all those
Bandcamp.
services. Yes, Bandcamp, the one that pays us.
Nice. So okay, so back in my day, we had to sell our CDs at the store to our uncles and aunts and anybody who was a little bit deaf. How do you sell your music these days? I mean, like, you're a band, obviously you're a self-sustaining band. How can people help you out? They're like, hey, this band rules. What can I do to help them?
So when I posted my little Facebook ad for this show tonight, I put in the title that there was going to be a big secret revealed. So I guess we can jump to that now. As of Saturday, you will be able to purchase vinyl copies on demand of all of our music that is out there.
Really? Vinyl?
included. Yes.
Nice.
The
I
EP
love.
is going up first. Supersonic Jesus will be a little bit later, probably within the next month.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the best way to encourage any band these days is like go to their Bandcamp, buy their merch.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're on Spotify and all those because people like they want that, but like we're not making money with that, you know. Yeah, we all work full-time jobs
We gotta
to
eat
be able to record and stuff like that. So
and eat.
yeah, sure.
All right, well, recording and eating. Yeah, recording and eating. Let's talk. Let's get back into the history now, because there's no gigs happening now. But everybody out there, if you're a musician, you always have a first gig. Tell me the story of the first time you ever played live, and not the Jazz Fest one, because we already covered that. So let's let live in a band, you know, and not a school band like a rock band.
Not just us. Like
Yeah.
our
Yeah. Well, the first time you ever played live, yeah.
The first time I played, it was in a band. It was called La Fin de Semaine. And I was just doing back vocals in that band. And my first memory with that band playing live is at Cégep du Vieux-Montréal.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, I don't know if they still do it, but they were doing shows in their cafe. But like nobody knew us. It was so awkward. It was really awkward. And I don't know. It was weird. The first experience is always weird, I think, but it was fun. But yeah, nobody knew us, so it was kind of playing to a not very responsive audience, I guess.
Yeah, but it's still exciting to play live. Like,
yeah, for sure. And I remember I had like a voice extinction like 2 days before, and I was so very nervous about that gig, which in the end I should have been relaxed, you know. There was nothing like to worry about, but it was stressful anyway.
I know what you mean. Every time I'm supposed to sing or do something, that's when I'll have a throat problem, because psychologically I'm like, this needs to work in 2 days. Oh no.
Exactly.
Like, I haven't played in a year. I haven't had a sore throat once.
There you go. But it's all about the mask.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that, man. After COVID's cured and there's all this other shit, I'm still wearing masks all the time, because I've never not been sick for this long ever. Okay, so let's keep going with first gigs.
Me.
Yeah, what was your first gig? Enlighten us.
It must have been a long time ago. I think it was at church, actually.
Did you play Supersonic Jesus?
Yeah. No. But yeah, I think it was at church. But it's first times are always super awkward because you don't really know what you're doing. Like, because when I was learning the drums, I was learning to play the drums. You know, you learn by yourself. You play with like, backtracks and stuff like that. And then when you're actually live in front of other people, playing with live people, like they're playing their instruments, and you're not really sure, like, okay, what's gonna happen now? Like, how do I start this song? What happens now? I don't know. But to be honest, I don't really remember. I just remember being super nervous, and just like looking at the person that was actually like leading, like the singer, the main singer who was leading, and I was like, what am I supposed to do now? This is where I come in, or what? I don't know.
Okay. And Bran, first gig ever. Let's hear this.
My first show was a disaster.
Nice.
It was at Club Soda. I must have been probably like 16 years old. First band, we were playing some like thrash metal stuff. And
was this a Battle of the Bands?
It was. It was one of those LME things.
What was the Battle of the Bands called? Do you remember? Because I did one too.
I think it was Landmark Events, LME.
Okay.
And it was just horrible. We like barely sold any tickets, so we had this horrible time slot at like 1 p.m. There was like maybe 50 people there, and we're talking Club Soda, so 50 people in Club Soda is
old
like,
Club Soda or new Club Soda?
Where it is now.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, we were one of the first bands to go on at like 1 p.m. around, and I guess the sound guy hadn't prepped everything properly, so we start playing, and with no sound check, by the way, obviously, Battle of the Bands. So we start playing, and there's like a fraction of a second delay coming out of the monitors.
Oh no.
Well, I don't know if you've ever tried to play music when you're hearing it a fraction of a second later, but it does not work, especially when you're playing some fast-paced thrash.
I can't even talk when that happens, and I hear the slight delay.
So that lasted throughout like almost the entirety of the first song, and it was so bad. I can't even imagine what the crowd was hearing because we were not playing what we were supposed to be playing. And then when things did finally start getting better, we're in the middle of a song, and it's right at the solo break. And my friend of mine, Dan, was the guitarist at the time. This guy was an amazing guitarist. So for him, this was like his spotlight moment. And the producer or the guy who put on this show decides that he needs to go backstage for something, walks up onto the stage mid-guitar solo, trips over Dan's patch cord, and completely unplugs him from the amp.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was so embarrassing. But you know what? At the end of the gig, we had people coming up to us and they were like, dude, that was awesome. Like, so it felt good. I
might have been one of them. I don't know, man. Pretty sure, like, I'm trying to narrow down the dates. Was the producer of the show a guy named Gary by any chance?
No, it was a guy named Arthur.
Oh, okay. Because I think it was Landmark Events / ROR concerts that I played a Battle of the Bands at. And I met this guy, John. I don't know if you know John Asher, but he from Dungeon Works. He was like 14 back then. Or 13 and we were 15. And it's just funny how you're just a bunch of bands and you all suck, but you're there all day. And the mentality back then was just be like, hey, there's a band on stage, get in that crowd and make them like feel less shitty about what they're doing. Yeah. And then when you're on stage and you see any human being like moving to your music at all, it's like this feeling of relief. You feel like a superhero. You're like, oh my God, I made a connection with a stranger. I impressed a stranger. I can impress my mom, but I have no idea who the fuck that guy is. And he's dancing around.
Your mom? I can't do that.
Really? My mom, she loves anything I do, no matter what it is. She's like,
right. My mom, I'll say this, my mom has never once in my 20 years of playing music come to see me perform.
Yeah, there you go. 20 years. So I think we're like neck and neck. Like, what year did you start playing in?
God, I don't know. I was like 15 or 16 when I played my first gig, and I'm 32 now. So.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm 33. Wow.
I'm 36, man. So yeah, it definitely wasn't the same year. I would have been like, you were probably like starting to play when I was about 18 or 19 or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, crazy. Were you around for the end of were any of you around for the end of the Lex days?
Oh yeah, I was at Lex.
Yeah, I used to go there.
Let's talk about some fun Lex memories.
Oh, well, drinking in the alleyway in the back, first times I was drinking, basically. I was younger. I'm a bit younger.
Funniest thing, well, maybe not funny, craziest thing I saw at the Lex was there was this dude in the pit, and this guy was goth, a la Max, had had those big giant rings that are like claws that come up his ears, and this guy was in the mosh just swinging around, and he caught somebody like from here to here, and just
oh God.
Face, yeah, there was blood everywhere. And I remember the band that was playing was called Bonaventure.
I know Bonaventure.
Yeah, I went to high school with some of the guys.
Yeah,
that's why we were there. We were there to watch them play. And I remember, I think it was my buddy Matt that he was playing, and either bass or guitar, I can't remember. But between him bleeding from the fingers from playing so hard and the guy in the crowd with the bloody face, there was just blood all over the venue. And I'm from Pancor, so like I was a little kid at this time, maybe like 14 years old. And I was like, oh my God, this is Montreal? Like,
Lex was really cool. There were really cool bands there. The first one that comes to my mind is Couch Addiction, but there's
Nice.
so many more that I can't think of right now, but a lot of really cool bands.
I played my first Lex show of Couch Addiction, actually.
Really cool.
Yeah, they just seem larger than life. I'm like, holy shit, they don't suck. This is amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Amazing. So, Mr. from Brazil, did you were you there for Lex Days, or did you come to Montreal afterwards?
No, I've been here for almost 3 years now. So
holy shit. Okay, yes. Many venues have come and gone before you graced our presence with your drumming awesomeness. Wow. Okay, so just getting back to the Lex thing, I always found it really funny that everybody was always drinking in the back, but this is like a parking lot away from the only cop station downtown.
No.
So it's kind of like hiding in plain sight, right? Like if you went on St. Catherine Street, you get busted like in 10 seconds if you're holding a 40. But for some reason, that alleyway was like a Harry Potter magic cloak or something.
Exactly.
It was.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Oh, that's crazy. I was in a really mediocre band back then called Judgmental, and we used to go to Bonaventure shows, I'm pretty sure. And then I think some of them would come to ours because it was kind of like that in the pit respect thing. They're like, oh, they probably twisted their ankle in our pit, so let's go pay the favor back and stuff like that. I miss that. I miss that feeling of camaraderie.
I feel like there's not much of that anymore in Montreal. Almost like cutthroat.
Yeah. Like why? There's enough for everybody.
I try so hard to support other bands. We promote lots of other people's music, and I don't feel like there's much reciprocation. Not just for us, but for like all the bands in general. People don't seem to help each other out as much as they used to.
I think it's a young person's game to go to every show possible. Well, not necessarily. I mean, bucket list music reviews and all those cats, they're always at shows, and good for them, by the way. You're probably not watching this, but if you are, kudos. But I remember when I was younger, like part of my life and my identity was to go to see as much live music as possible. So I'm trying to imagine for people who are used to still doing that, how hard things have kind of been this year to kind of like just cut that off. Do you all miss performing live?
Oh, so much.
Oh, yeah. And watching the other bands, like, yeah,
it's just an energy
discovering new bands.
You don't get anywhere else. Just you go to a live show, or like when you're actually playing live, it's so good.
Just two of my favorite bands of all time have just been from playing shows and meeting people from Montreal, seeing these other bands. I'll give them a shout out too. It's Pet Talk and Le Revenant. They're like, to this day, they're two of my all-time favorite bands, not just from Montreal, but in general.
Awesome. You mentioned you're from Pancor. First of all, kudos for being a teenager willing to like get on a bus for an hour and a half to come downtown to watch your friends play.
There was the hour and a half walk to Saint Anne de Bellevue before that bus.
Oh, there you go. So you didn't even have the parents lift to the bus and stuff like that. That's insane, man.
At that age, our parents did not know where we were going or what we were doing. It was like, hey, Mom, can I have $10 to go bowling? And then we'd all go out and get drunk and see a punk show.
Yeah. Back then, man, I learned how to become a decent accountant based on the limited resources of your parents giving you $10. You're like, okay, the show costs $5 and this 40 costs $4.75. If we share this 40, that means we'll have enough money to split a hot dog. Like all this kind of like stuff that wouldn't have come as a skill set had my parents had just given me $20. So thank you, parents, for not giving me too much and letting me letting me learn the trade. Yeah. So we're having some fun tonight. Are you guys having fun?
We are.
Awesome. Let's keep talking about the good old days. Okay, so what's the funniest thing that's actually ever happened to you live? Because we all have those Spinal Tap stories where, you know, we're like, we start off our musical career where we watch Spinal Tap and we're like, oh, that's a hilarious comedy. And then later in life, you're like, that is the saddest documentary I've ever seen. Once you learn how bad luck on stage actually works. Tell me some funny stories of mishaps on the road or on the stage.
Well, I mean, our original drummer spontaneously combusted.
Nice.
No. The funniest, I guess, for the audience, not for me, was I used to have some pretty long hair.
Oh, yes.
And I was going to go do
annoying.
this nice big scream. We were playing some metal at the time. And I took a nice big breath mid-song and got about 6 or 7 inches of hair right down my throat.
Wow.
All right. Anyone else have any mishaps that they would like to tell the class?
The class. Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know.
When you're trying to think of something, I will mention that the second show I ever played was at high school, and we're performing on a stage that was like a bunch of boxes that was on wheels pushed together. And my guitar player at the time, Robin, he jumped up and kind of like landed in between the cracks of the boxes and fell straight through the stage. But the pro that he is kept playing, got back on, and acted like nothing happened.
The show must go on.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. I've forgotten some lyrics. I remember performing. We were doing a cover of Metallica. I can't even remember what song now. It was off like Kill 'Em All. And I forgot the lyrics mid-song. And I was like, how do I forget the lyrics to a fucking Metallica song?
I did better than that. I forgot the lyrics of my own song.
that happens.
And some song that you've played for like 5 years, and all of a sudden, nothing. No melody, no words. Brain fart. Nothing.
I remember one time, like, there was a bunch of guys they were a band, like they were playing together, and they invited me to fill in because their drummer couldn't show up. And we went to this, like, it was I didn't have anything with me. Like, it was like, oh, come on, man, you're a drummer. Like, yeah, I'll go, let's go. I was just around the same place where they were, and they just took me, and they were like, okay, let's play. No, they have everything in there. They have the drums, they have the cymbals, whatever you need, like drumsticks. So like I'm sitting there, I'm looking. There's no kick pedal. There's no clutch. Okay, I'm gonna play this. I was literally stomping on the floor.
Holy shit!
For real, like boom, boom. I don't know if it worked, but
that's so weird.
That was it.
Yeah.
But,
oh, you couldn't do anything else. Was there sticks at least, or were you air drumming the whole time?
There were sticks.
Okay.
Not like decent ones, but. I mean, that was the least of my problems right there.
All right. So anybody watching, by the way, you can leave comments if you will, and we can highlight them up and stuff like that. My friend Victoria says the days when St. Anne's, those days when St. Anne's was super fun. Just jumped on here to say a quick hi and have fun, guys. Oh, that's very cool. Victoria Sanchez is a Montreal actress who's been in such shows as Student Bodies and a few other. Victoria is one of the greatest humans alive. Yeah, St. Anne's and traveling from far. Where what was the farthest you've ever gone to see a concert? You know, by public transportation, like said to yourselves, hey, I need to see this show, and I don't care if it takes. If I would walk 500 miles to see this band play, what's the farthest you've ever gone to see a show and the most effort you put into it?
For me, nowhere. I've never seen a show outside of Montreal, unless I was outside of Montreal at the time.
You're from St. Anne's. Every show you've seen is a far show.
I don't know. Did I go? I guess it was always in Montreal.
Yeah.
I'm from Laval. It's not very far.
Also hard to come see shows. kudos to the two of you. Maybe that's why you're successful. Maybe it's just like you weren't like living downtown and you're like, oh, I guess I could take the 5 metro stops to get down there. You procrastinate. You told yourselves, all right, Saturday is going to be about getting there and getting back. You know?
There you go. Oh yeah. My dad would pick us up at concerts, me and my friends, and he was so mad because we would always drink, and he knew it. But this one concert, we didn't drink nothing. But it got so hot in the venue. There was so many people, and one of my friends got sick out of the heat, and she puked in the car.
Nice.
My dad thought that she had drank too much, but for once we were completely sober.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
that's how it is.
But yeah, it was always in Montreal. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never gone out of town or
I'm trying to
province really to see a show.
Yeah,
Continue.
No,
yeah, continue, please.
Brazil.
How
I mean,
far did you travel?
Yeah, that's more interesting. Fuck Montreal. Let's hear about Brazil.
traveled from my hometown to São Paulo, which is like 600 kilometers.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot
Just
more
to see
impressive
it,
than Laval and Montreal.
Yeah.
In a bus, stinky.
Did you like travel by horseback?
No.
Drives with like people with chicken coops in the back of their trucks. Like, I gotta go see Toto.
Man, I wish it. No, but no, I never did that.
Well, what was the band?
It was a Brazilian band. You wouldn't know.
Sepultura.
No. You would. Nah, you guys wouldn't know. It's a band called. It's actually called Jota Quest, but see, nobody knows it here. So
In global metal, in global metal, A Secret to Headbanger's Journey, I remember there was this whole segment in Brazil where there was like a mall that was all dedicated to metal, and the guy from Sepultura was showing the tour of it. It was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to say it out loud, everybody. Metal Headbanger's Journey that's a cool movie.
It was. I really enjoyed that. There's a second one, isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's it. It was like Metal A Headbanger's Journey, and Global Metal is the second one. And Global Metal is the one that goes all over the world to different countries and continents and shows the different ways that people have shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And
All like Japan X and stuff like that. I really like that documentary. That was a good one.
yeah. So what's your favorite venue that you've ever played?
Turbo. I love Turbo. It's so tight and small. No matter how small the crowd is, you always feel like you're tearing down the fucking house.
Yeah. The feeling in Turbo is really nice. The sound at
You're
Petit
almost on the
Campus is really
floor.
good too, though.
Oh yeah.
The sound at Petit Campus is, for a small venue, it's nice. But the ambiance is not as nice as Turbo House.
I've only played Turbo with you guys. So.
Right. Rap is fairly recent. We've only played 2 shows together. And then the pandemic hit. We had a rough year. We had so much planned and didn't get to do any of it.
Yeah, but at least you're still recording and releasing music and stuff like that.
That's it. Look at the bright side.
Yeah. At least you're not like one of those bands that are just around for years to play the same like 5 songs and don't want to change anything. I'm like, you're still stepping forward.
No, I'm always writing. We're always working and writing.
Yeah, I mean, when the pandemic was lower in the summer, we went in the studio right away. Good thing, because now I don't think it.
Are you
know
going
if
to tell the
it's
story about your Don Draper thing there?
My Don Draper thing.
Yeah.
No.
Your advertising genius.
I don't know. I
No.
just do my thing.
It's-
When we market our music, I like to think outside the box. And
Yeah, you shouldn't tell it because you're gonna give away your biggest
Exactly.
secret. Yeah.
if you guys would like to know the secret to great marketing, we accept
Donations.
all currency. It's $500 per tip.
Yeah. You guys, that's what's wrong with social distancing. You had this whole mall tour booked up about motivational speeches and how to market your band, and that you guys are a band second, but you're a consulting firm first. So yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So what if the pandemic ended in a month, what's the first thing you think Radium Moon would do?
Oh, we're
Tour.
just tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I mean, local first. We got to start here. We got to
Here and then Brazil.
right.
For sure.
No, definitely like a small Canadian tour. Nothing too big. Probably just Ottawa, Toronto, maybe Quebec City, Sherbrooke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, gotta start somewhere.
I did Cornwall too. Cornwall's got some nice people in there, but then again, it's been like a decade since I've been there, so
there's a good scene there. Cornwall and Alexandria. There's definitely a good scene there. I'd like to do that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. So it's all about touring, huh?
It's just about playing on stage. Doesn't matter where.
Yeah. I play a Christmas show every single year for the last 13 years in a band called the Holiday Hooligans. And
oh, really?
Yeah, this is the first year I'm not doing that. That's usually my only gig a year now, because I used to be in a band, The Real Deal. We went on tour a lot, but for the last few years, the only gig I do is that one. And it's kind of weird how I'm realizing that that's not happening, and how my body and my mind needed to do it at least once a year. Like you said, it keeps calling you back. Like, I prefer to do one gig, do it great, and then, move on with life, but still go back there. And the fact that that is not an option, it's really setting in. It's kind of strange. So, yeah, where do you want to see Radium Moon go? Like, do you want the record deal? Do you want the tours? Do you want the headline tours? Like, how far do you want to go with it?
We'll go wherever it takes us.
As far as it takes us,
yeah.
I guess.
Just gonna keep doing our thing. I mean, we don't really have any high hopes. I mean, obviously, it's the dream. Who doesn't want to be a rock star?
I don't know. It's just, it would be so neat not to have to work, a shitty job to pay the rent, make enough music with the music.
Exactly.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Music every day.
But I mean, the way it is, I always say that every time, but Brandon is a prolific songwriter. I always like to say that. So, like the way that he writes, I guess we should be able to have enough material for, releasing a lot of stuff, and who knows?
Yeah.
It gets better and better every time.
I mean, we need to play the music for our own sanity anyway, so
that's true.
It's not we're gonna stop anyway.
We could go forever. I'm just like Felix's magic bag of songs. Like we're gonna be like the AC/DC of grunge rock.
Wow.
Like 40 albums.
Yeah. Speaking of AC/DC, are you happy that they're putting out another record? Even in this pandemic?
I heard the single. It's not bad.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I was really happy to hear that.
It's not bad.
I don't know. I don't have much more to say about it. It's AC/DC. What more can you say about AC/DC?
It's exactly what you can expect from AC/DC. There's
you know
nothing...
what you're getting, and it's what it is.
Yeah, like some bands did some weird shit like this year and last year. I find like they really switched it around in their sound. AC/DC did not do that. They're AC/DC.
They haven't done that ever. Yeah. Every song, the same 3 chords. If it works, it works.
Yeah, but sometimes it happens. Sometimes it works. I mean, people say like, "Oh, the Ramones, they did the same thing for like 30 years," but that's not really true, because in the 80s there was a whole bunch of stuff with synthesizers. Like, I know they never broke into a breakbeat or anything like that, but there's still, there is some differences. But AC/DC, yeah, they pretty much said, this is what we sound like, and we just want to stick with that sound. Do you like it when bands do that, or like, do you get bummed if they don't try to like expand themselves?
I don't know.
I mean, there's a certain threshold, right? Like if Pennywise wants to go out and put out like a top 40 pop hit, I would be extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brandon,
So some artists are able to like keep their like sound and expand and explore with it, but you can still recognize them.
Yeah.
And I feel some are not able to do that. So
mhm.
Like
stick
the
to their
new,
sound and that's it.
Like the new Green Day stuff that's out now. Like, wow, what happened there?
Or the new Pearl Jam.
See,
Yeah, both of them are like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
That the new Pearl Jam is not good. I'm just saying, wow, it doesn't sound like
To
what
me,
I would have
the new-
expected ever.
the
That's
new
all.
Pearl Jam was like experimental, though. I found like they went kind of like in the David Bowie route, you know, just like trying something new, but it's still Pearl Jam.
Cool.
Nah.
Like, I don't know. When I heard that new Green Day song, I did not even know it was Green Day.
Yeah, okay, I agree with you in that sense. You
Yeah.
can recognize the voice.
I guess the issue is like if they're trying to be more commercial than actually working for the music.
Yeah.
'Cause if you're actually working for the music, then like for your own growth, like actually expanding your music, I think that's
Yeah, if
That's
you're
not how you
just
get
doing it like you're writing a plan, oh, I'll make more money if I
Exactly.
write this way. Yeah.
because like I guess like every band has their distinctive sound or whatever qualifies them, like like the Beatles, for example, they completely changed over the span of the time that they were playing together, but they were still the Beatles. You could I don't know, I guess
Yeah.
if you keep your identity, I guess that's what matters.
Okay, so something about the Beatles that's fucking crazy is that like, people are like, oh, the Beatles are overrated or whatever. And I'm just like, dude, in 8 years, not even in 8 years, they still sound like the same band, but they changed like 8 times. To do that in 8 years is insane.
Yeah.
To be like, the leather jacket wearing guys in Germany to the suit, wearing the suits on television, being pretty much like a pop rock band, then going trippy as balls. Like when you think of I Want to Hold Your Hand and Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and think that's like 3 or 4 years difference, that's fucking nuts. Every 6 months a new album. No one can do that these days. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's crazy when you think that it was in such a short period of time. Now for bands to, I don't even know how many albums they put out, the Beatles, but nowadays for people to be able to do that, it takes like decades.
Yeah.
And decades.
I haven't. Green Day were like my first favorite band, and when I was a kid, and and I kind of haven't liked one of their albums front to back since American Idiot. So I'm trying to think. I'm like, that was in 2004. I haven't liked anything they've written in 16 years. That's a long time. Most bands aren't together for 16 years. Nevertheless, bands have been together in my humble opinion, not as kind of slightly mediocrely. Like it's just kind of funny. Like they all of a sudden they became this big thing. They started playing stadiums, and then they released 21st Century Breakdown, which is kind of like American Idiot Part 2, but with more filler and more auto tune and just didn't have that grit. Do you have any bands like that you've loved your whole life and you've smiled through some strange changes they did, but you still stayed the course? Because I would go see them live. I just I can't say like, yeah, their new album's awesome, because it's it's not.
Yeah, for me it's Alice in Chains. Like I fucking loved them. They were amazing, and they're not the same without Lane Staley.
Okay.
They're just not. I saw them live. I saw them play at Metropolis when it was still Metropolis with their new singer, and honestly, it's one of the worst shows I ever saw.
Wow.
I was really disappointed.
I saw Dead Kennedys play without Jello Biafra, and my friend and I kind of walked out of it. He had some free tickets to it, and we're just like, it's just not for us. People here, they're having a great time. It's all good, but it's not for us. And then ironically, 2 weeks later, we see Jello play some small place up on Saint Laurent, and we see him play with his own band. And all of a sudden, they play the first song, and we're like, "Holy shit, that's Jello! holy shit, this feels right. And they play Holiday of Cambodia at the very end, and you're like, oh my god, this is what that other show didn't have. It's this. And Joe's this old man. He gets off stage and he gets in a fight with somebody, and we're like, oh my god, this is the thing that was missing from the other thing. So it just goes to show that I think Jello Biafra is actually the soul of the Dead Kennedys in a way.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Did you any of you see those shows? Because it sounded like you're.
I love Jello, but Biafra. Anyway, but it was like an outdoor random show by the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, cool.
And it was like daytime, like family festival for free outside. And he was just playing there. And me and my friends just like, yeah, we got to go see him. It was awesome. He's getting old, but like he's got a lot of energy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Still has the voice too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. I guess for me, the artist that I followed, no matter what, was Bjork. Like, it's not very rock and roll, but she is pretty rock and roll. I find, yeah, she's gives performance still like crazy, and yeah, I don't know, and I didn't love all of her albums, but I don't know, I follow her no matter what for some reason.
Awesome. Yes. Come on. You haven't spoken in a while. Tell me about an artist that you will follow, like, you know, no matter what, even through ups and downs, twists and turns.
Toto, no, yeah. I mean, well, I guess no.
Just fucking you.
I don't know. I'm trying to think about it, but nothing comes to my mind right now.
Okay.
I
Well,
guess Paul McCartney, man, he's still alive. I'm still gonna listen to his stuff, you know, even if it's garbage.
Awesome.
He never make garbage though. I'm just saying this. Paul McCartney.
Well, I like the song "Wonderful Christmas Time," but it just happens that most people don't. So yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up soon, but before we go, tell me like this is why I like talking about bands. Just talk, you know, because we're all fans. We start out as fans. What was like the best show you think you ever saw?
Motley Crue. I'm not a super huge fan of Motley Crue, but I got those free tickets in high school. And man, Tommy Lee flies from drum to drum to drum. It was an experience, you know?
Nice.
Yeah, that was really impressive. They all come on stage with those big motors. It's too big. It's ridiculously too big. But I was really like, the show, like showman quality was really intense. Oh yeah. And I'm not even the biggest fan of the band, but like the show was freaking awesome.
Nice.
For me, it goes back to the Alice in Chains show that I saw. Even though that was like a really bad show on their part, the opening band, Monster Truck, fucking killed it. They had so much stage presence. It was amazing.
Awesome. I love hearing that, by the way, because it just goes to show that if you are on tour with a band, and even if they're all there to see the other band, go fucking kick some ass, because the same story, you know, Radium Moon, that could be the same effect of somebody coming to see someone that you're opening for. Yeah. Absolutely. I discovered my favorite band, The Living End, opening up for Offspring. Like, the Offspring came on, played Pretty Fly for a White Guy, did a bunch of mediocre, weird stuff. There's like a salsa band that played before them, but the opening band was this trio from Australia. These three guys that played like the Stray Cats meets Green Day meet The Clash, and they just blew my mind. First time I ever saw an upright bass player. It was fucking awesome, and that was in 1998. So I've been talking about them for like 22 years based on this performance of them opening up for the Offspring. Like, what if they phoned it in that night? My life would be different. All right. And best show you ever saw?
I think it was probably I was still in Brazil, and John Mayer came to play a concert in Brazil.
Sweet.
And yeah, it was pretty freaking great. I mean, that guy, like, he's playing alone. He doesn't need a band. You know, like, just him standing there playing. He doesn't. I remember he actually fucked up on one of the songs. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna try this again. Boom. But even when he fucked up, it was like, man, you're John Mayer, man. You can do whatever you want.
That's so funny. I love that. And you know what? You seem to have a very sensitive soul. Like you play loud, aggressive drums. But if your the best show you ever saw is John Mayer, clearly inside, you know, you like the soft music, right?
I do. I cannot lie. I like a little bit of everything, man. But yeah, I'm like, I like a lot of like folk music, like acoustic stuff. Yeah,
Okay. Well, have you ever heard any songs that made you cry?
all the time. Just
He cries every time I write something new.
Brandon, you're so great. No, yeah, but yeah, for sure, definitely, yeah.
Hey, being emotional is a lot better than being dead inside, okay? And I would know. I've been dead inside for like 8 years. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
A comment of somebody saying nice distancing. I just want to let Mitch know that me and Sandrine live together,
Yeah.
and Raphael is the only outside source here, and he has been distancing himself. He works from home, so we are all safe here.
There you go. I guess we should I guess we should have specified that out loud before. But it's kind of like I'm kind of over my whole kind of like holier than thou thing, where it's just like anyway, I'm getting tired. I'm getting over this whole like, how dare you? I'm just like, I'm gonna take care of me. I'm gonna do me.
Exactly.
I want to live with less anger, right? But it is true. It's good that you said that, and it is good to be responsible and stuff like that. We're gonna veer off away from pandemic talks too much tonight, but I think it's great what you're doing. I think it's absolutely awesome that you're putting out new music in this strange year when, especially now where people are going to have a little bit of difficulty creating new music unless they record separate tracks at home. When you recorded in the studio, did you all record live off the floor or did you track it?
We tracked it.
Tracked it.
It's fun. Our producer Jeremy Costa at Backward Clock Studios. Go check them out.
Backward Clock Sound.
Backward Clock Sound. Sorry, I forgot
Right.
he changed his name.
Because
you know what? I love recording with him. He has a lot of great input. He adds his own flavor. He doesn't go too far. Obviously, he doesn't change our music, but he just has this great input, and it could be the smallest thing, like, oh, why don't you try this note here instead of that note? And it's like, oh, shit, that sounds way better. Let's do that. And it's a lot of fun. We like working with him.
That's great. And it's good that you're open. It's good that you're open for that kind of criticism, because a lot of people are like steel traps when it comes to people making suggestions on songs. Famously, Metallica, when they were making the Black Album, they hired Bob Rock to kind of like, keep tighten them up. But then you always have a reaction to someone actually trying to do what you hired them to do. Are you like that? Are you always open to suggestions, or are there some things you just don't budge on?
I mean, there's certain things.
We're always open to
right?
the suggestion, but anyway, with Jeremy, the way it works is like we have the final word regardless.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
But
He's thrown us some ideas where, like he'll send us the track and he'll be like, I threw this little sound on here, this little effect, and we'll listen to it and we'll just be like, no, no fucking way. Get that out of here. Don't do that. And there's no animosity. It's all fun.
No, there's a really good dynamic. Like it's creative, but it's I feel like I don't even feel like it's like I don't know. It's really collaboration. It's not like
it is. He's
told
like
what to do or anything like that.
He's like the fourth member of the band.
Yeah.
In a way.
True.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for stopping by tonight. This has been lovely. Looking forward to hearing your new music, and looking forward to sharing it, because I heard the music and it's great. You're all playing well, and you all seem like lovely people. It was lovely getting to know you better tonight.
Nice to get to know you too.
Yeah. All right, and let's before we end, because it's my show and I don't give a fuck, I do what I want. Tell me something a little geeky about yourselves before you go. It's a question I used to ask everybody.
A little kinky?
Oh no, a little, well, if you want, but a little geeky.
That's why I was like,
That's what I heard.
No, a little bit geeky, you know, nerdy.
geeky.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Shit, I should have started with that. Fuck.
I have to fucking get something.
Yes.
No.
There he goes.
Okay.
Let me get the,
My first
Probably.
favorite musician was a
Oh, yeah.
cello. A cello. I don't know if that's geeky enough.
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
it is.
It kind of is, I think. So he's the most geek of
I am.
all, though.
I'm a fucking big nerd.
well,
So I was on Facebook the other day, and I'm scrolling, and I see Hal from Mountain Dust is giving away a bunch of VHS tapes. And luckily, I was like one of the first ones to comment on it. So I got this, the original in Star Wars trilogy,
Nice.
in mint condition, all 3 films for free, and I'm happy. I'm super excited about this, and I can't wait to pop them in the VHS player. I just want to share that.
and see a Star Wars cut that doesn't have any like terrible CGI in it. Like,
Exactly.
amazing.
I've been trying to find that for ages, and I couldn't believe that it was into me. I'm so happy.
Oh, I'm happy you're happy.
Little thing.
All right, Toto. What's your favorite? What's geeky about you?
oh wow, geeky man. I don't know, man. I like dinosaurs.
You work in IT. You're a geek.
I do like
Little geek.
Dinosaurs aren't geeky. Dinosaurs are cool as hell.
You're geeky like me. Man.
Ever since Jurassic Park, man, dinosaurs have been the bomb.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that was almost 30 years ago, so
Yeah.
time's passing by.
Almost as old as the dinosaurs.
Yeah. All right, well, this VHS tape's got to go rewind himself. Thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been absolutely awesome. Everybody on Facebook, check out Radium Moon. Where on the social medias can people find you?
You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Bandcamp. You can find us on Spotify.
There's a website too.
We have a website, www.radiummoon.com.
That's how you spell radium.
We've got a bunch of links on that website. You can subscribe to our newsletter where you get all the updates. We promise not to spam you. We send out maybe like once a month or 2 months.
Yeah.
Anytime something comes out, new release, or we put out some new merch or something like that. We're not going to bug you like a Facebook notification. So come subscribe.
Yeah, Ben from Fright Rags is apparently my best friend because I get fucking message from him every single day. I love Fright Rags though, and they show me some really awesome stuff. It's funny though, you know, you're talking with the YouTube, you're like, you promise not to spam, but it's like sometimes you get those emails and you're like, holy shit, I really fucking wanted this. Like I just ordered from Fright Rags, like a Chainsaw Clark from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Like it's just amazing. He looks like Jason Voorhees, and the lights and the houses behind him with all the lights lit up, and they're like classic reprints coming in back in style. And you'd think like, oh my God, another email. And I'm just like frothing at the mouth. I'm like, holy shit, they reprinted it. Thank God. I missed my chance. So, you never know, you never know when someone messages you or if you're giving these messages, someone might be very fucking happy to find out shit from Radium Moon, So, oh, hey, Ryan, your zipper is open. How do you know that? It is open because I'm like larger now. I have this fucking gut now, and I have to like keep it open and stuff like that. But the camera can't see that. How do you know that, Nikki? Are you at my house?
You know what? Seeing Nick pop up there just reminded me we're gonna be a little bit involved with the CRW soon. So keep an eye out for that too.
Yeah, CRW. Let's tell everybody what CRW is.
I'm not even really sure what it is. It's all new. I kept seeing it online, and I was like, "Oh, what is this? Like, are these people streaming? Like, do we have to play the game? Do we have to create our characters? Like, are we playing?" So I just sent him a message, and no, it's all automated. It's pretty cool. We get our little avatars that look like us. It's promotion for our music, and it's fun. We get to fight other musicians from Montreal.
You'll fight me eventually.
Oh
I'm in
yeah,
there. Yeah.
forward to it. I got my eyes on you.
I was one of the first. And every time I message on their feeds, I always act like the biggest asshole. They bring out the heel in me. I just keep commenting on stuff like tell me hey, let me know when. I don't know. I can't think of anything right now, but anyway, basically CRW is an online wrestling federation that takes like wrestling video game graphics. They make avatars of all different Canadian bands, and it's really great because they fight each other, and it's a super cool show, and so co-hosted by Nick and created by Nick, and it's absolutely awesome. And I watch it every single Monday, or at least try to. And yeah, it's just awesome. I'm so proud of Nick because Nick started doing this to kind of give something for people to do when pandemic was at its worst and there was really nothing going on, and he started doing that to kind of cheer people up, and he's been doing it all these months. So kudos to Nick, and I'm really glad that you're joining the CRW family. That's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait. Nick, let us know when we're going up there.
Yeah, and he's apparently I'm part of the original crew, and I'm also a big heel. Yeah, I'm like one of the bad guys in the show. one time, I don't know if you ever played it, but my girlfriend's dad has a boat, and so on the boat, I was thinking, wow, you know, it's a small boat, but it's cool. But I'm like, wow, I must look like an asshole on this thing because you know, from a certain angle, you can't tell if it's a yacht or something. So I told Melissa to like videotape me as if I am on a yacht, and I just give this huge snobby asshole 1980s like bad guy speech. And it was just it was fucking hilarious. So maybe you could do those things too. Send in videos of you guys acting like dicks or heroes or whatever you think. Do you think you're like, you know, more good guys or bad guys? How do you see yourselves? Because I know Toto there is a fucking natural born like baby face. But how about yourself, Brand?
I'm a Sensi.
Yeah, Raph's a good guy. Sandrin's a good guy. I'm an asshole. I could be a bad guy.
But
Oh, Nick.
Good kind of asshole.
I know how to throw on the shade.
Nick mentions about the video I sent in. He's like, yes, I did. You were so drunk. Yes, I was, Nick. Much like the zipper, you do see all, apparently, because I was really trying to mask it. But I guess the slurring of my words. You guys, do you have any favorite wrestlers from back in the day that you would like to see yourself emulated as?
I was never really the biggest wrestling fan, but I mean, just growing up in the 90s, how can you not be around that stuff? So for me, it would probably be, what's his name? Undertaker.
Oh, yeah.
Undertaker.
Any fucking 90s metal kid loves Undertaker, of course.
Back Mick Foley, the moment where he drops down through the cage onto the thumbtacks, like, even if you're not a fan of wrestling, come on, that's amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. What about the rest of you?
I have no knowledge whatsoever.
Okay.
You have knowledge.
Of wrestling, obviously.
Yeah. I was never into wrestling, more into boxing, but
Raph is a boxer. He'll fuck some shit up.
There you go, Nick. If you listen, well, I guess you're listening, but make sure when you make his character, he's very he's very fond of the fisticuffs for sure. And right on his hands, toe and toe. And when you put them together,
that would be fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah, Toto. Oh, on the head, like crush his head like that.
He's gonna kick your ass in 4-4 time.
Yeah.
Hey, they got some 7-4
Jeff
in there.
Procaro is a god.
Tell me about boxing. That's interesting. How does one get into boxing?
Well, I always kind of liked martial arts. I started with karate and then a little bit of Muay Thai, but then I don't know, boxing was just the one thing that I really, really liked. I started, I don't know, like 10 years ago. And
awesome.
So yeah. No, it's just like, it's good. It's a really good workout, and you learn how to, punch people in the face. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Or you get punched in pace too, but you know.
Yeah. But with drumming, like, you know, to do your job properly, you actually have to be kind of an ambidextrous where both hands are doing different things, the legs are doing different things. Did you find you adapted faster to becoming a boxer because of that discipline you have as a drummer?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And driving too, because in Brazil, you drive with a manual shift, so it helps. It actually helps.
We're learning a lot today, aren't we?
It's true. You know, it's foot and hand coordination. So
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe that's why I only played drums for a certain amount of time. When I was in high school, as soon as I learned how to do like a one on a hi-hat but a double with my foot, I just did it all the time. It became my nervous tick. I still do it now. I don't even play drums. I just find that
yeah,
so fun. Yeah.
instinct is just happens. Yeah.
Okay, so Nick is commenting, haha, metronome monster. You have any amateur boxing matches?
Once, yes. Once. One
It was
time.
with John Mayer after he fucked up that song. He's like, "How dare you ruin this show?"
Ring with me right now. No, I mean, I was going to have one amateur fight, but the sad story was that there was no one in the same weight category as me, so I ended up not fighting. Like I was 80 something kilograms, and yeah.
How much is that in pounds for people who can't do math?
Pounds? Good question.
80?
190.
Yeah, close to 200.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close. I don't know.
Raph's a big boy.
He's tall, so you know.
200 pounds of sensitive soul. The gentle giant, Nick.
Most of the weight is in his beard.
Actually, that's a good question. See, now you didn't talk all interview, so like now I'm just gonna keep asking. So when COVID was happening and the mask and people were telling everyone to shave their beards, was there any part of you that thought that, oh, I'm gonna shave my face, or were you steadfast in your beardom?
Fuck that. Shit. No, actually, I did shave for a little bit. Like
when we met you, you didn't have a beard.
I did.
You did?
Not this long though, but
yeah,
I did like kind of like a little bit. Yeah.
He grew it by the end of the first song.
Yeah, but I did shave it like completely. A couple months ago, but it's been growing since then.
I'm facially, I can't grow facial hair no matter how hard I try. I could let it go for like 2 months and it'll just like, you know, look like your average like teenager's peach fuzz or something.
Me too.
Awesome. All right. So yeah, what a great night. It's Thursday night, having some fun, talking music. It was lovely getting to know you, Radium Moon.
Yeah.
I wish nothing but the best for you. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
I had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great night, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, man.
And thanks for everyone who's watching.
All right. Good night, Facebook.